Around this time last year, I made a video talking about Disney's various takes on the Nutcracker story. Each of them had a different take on the story, from a simple retelling, to a comedic take with lots of meta humor, to a more serious fantasy epic. I still really like that video and stand by pretty much everything I said in it. However, there is one Disney Nutcracker that I neglected to mention. It's not a movie, it's not a TV show, it's not even a book. It's a theme park attraction.
And wait until you see this. Let's go down to Disneyland right now. That's out in California, where the Disney theme park magic began over 35 years ago. Here's a look at their unique version of the Nutcracker.
In 1991, Disneyland's annual Christmas celebrations included a new stage show, Mickey's Nutcracker. This wasn't just a revue-style show, as is common for shows in the parks. This was a more traditional stage musical, with a plot and characters. It played at Videopolis, now the Fantasyland Theater, throughout the holiday season. The show proved to be so popular that not only was it brought back the next year, but it was professionally filmed and aired on the Disney Channel, preserved for generations to come. That will be the version we're looking at today. This isn't going to be an in-depth retrospective or a deep dive into the show's history. This is just going to be a fun little riff on the show. So, let's get started. So the curtain rises and we get our first song. And anyone familiar with the Nutcracker will notice that it's a song from the Tchaikovsky ballet with lyrics written over it, Sleeping Beauty style.
Good times and fellowship are all part of the season. There is no better way to spend the Christmas holiday.
And maybe your stomach starts to sink when you remember that it's the same gimmick that another adaptation tried, which, let's just say, didn't go over well.
This is that, these are those, what to scream, what's ideal, what to feel, no one really knows.
Well, you'd be happy to know that we're not dealing with anything that bad. They don't do anything offensive with the material. Anyways, the narrator comes out and tells us that it's Christmas Eve at Minnie's house, and everyone's invited. Some are to be expected, Goofy, Chip and Dale, Pluto, but there are also some out-of-the-box characters, like Tigger. There aren't any other Winnie the Pooh characters, and there are some notable Mickey and Friends characters missing, like Donald and Daisy. Daisy is Minnie's best friend and she isn't here, but Tigger gets to be? It's just an odd choice. This was also from that brief window of time where Roger Rabbit was a major character at the parks. So he gets to be here too. You don't really see Roger that much anymore, supposedly because Eisner was bitter over Spielberg working for Universal. So it's kind of cool to see him integrated with the Mickey and Friends lineup. Anyways, during the song, we're introduced to 3 of Minnie's human friends, each with their own quirks. Conrad wants to get a girlfriend, Tina's a total glutton, and Ethel is just a joke machine. They each get their own verses and some dialogue about them from the narrator, so you'd expect for them to be important to the story, but this doesn't really come back up again. Spoilers.
Minnie's Christmas party was the most wonderful social event of the season. Why, even I was invited.
Aw, crap, this is getting meta. So, in addition to being the omniscient narrator, he's also in the story. Yeah, that's part of the gimmick of the show. There are a lot of meta wink to the audience jokes, mostly with the narrator trying to move the story along. Kind of like the Mickey Mouse cartoon now that I think about it.
It was getting very late, and so the party was over.
Aww.
Sorry, everyone, but we can't go on with the story until you leave.
Meta humor is something that gets old really fast, but for a theme park stage show, I think it's fine here. The narrator gets Minnie a present, which turns out to be, gasp, a nutcracker. One that looks an awful lot like a certain cartoon mouse. Then the party ends and everyone goes home. Minnie stays up late to play with her nutcracker until the stroke of midnight. Then she seems to shrink as everything in the room gets bigger. And then...
What's going on? Oh my!
Hiya, Minnie. Merry Christmas!
yes, her nutcracker turns out to be alive. Because every Christmas Eve, toys come to life. To help prove his point, he brings out the toy soldiers, who are all played by actors we saw on the stage previously. Which, kudos to them for pulling off that quick change. As you'll notice, the captain of the soldiers is played by the same actress who played Tina. All three of those characters are double casted like this. So the only reason we were introduced to them was for this vague gesture towards and you were there plot point.
The captain of the guard reporting for duty, sir.
Haven't I seen you somewhere before?
It's possible.
Anyways, the Toy Soldiers perform our second song, which is a tap dancing number set to the Toy Soldier song from the ballet. The lyrics are just about how they come to life and dance. Not a lot to analyze there.
There's nothing that we'd rather do than sing and dance around for you. To jitterbug and cut a rug, our timely cameo.
They decide to eat what's left of the party treats, in case you didn't get the connection the first time. But then a bunch of rats start sneaking in. But they aren't doing a very good job, so they get caught pretty quickly. They turn out to be hench rats, working for the Rat King. I guess with Mickey here, we can't call him the Mouse King.
A long time ago, a terrible curse was placed on a handsome prince, which turned him into the creature you see before you.
Yeah, that was completely made up. Nothing like that is in the source material. Maybe they just added that in because Beauty and the Beast had just come out. Who knows? Anyways, the only way you can stop the Rat King is by giving him sugar, which he hates so much that he describes it in a rap.
Listen to my chatter and dig the rhyme of the Rat King rapping about my evil pastime. 'Tis the season, that's the reason for this ultimate crime. We're gonna wipe out Christmas time.
Ah yes, this was during the era where Disney was trying to be hip with the kiddies. It's not the worst, but it's kind of cringe, not gonna lie. Long story short, the Rat King hates Christmas and wants to destroy it and the Nutcracker. And an epic battle ensues, soundtrack to the Sugar Plum Fairy song. The Rat King has Mickey cornered and is about to straight up stab him until Minnie whacks him in the head with a ladle, making them retreat. Believe it or not, that's actually from the book. It's a shoe and not a spoon, but yes, this is accurate to the source material. The Nutcracker thanks Minnie for saving him, and they decide to go to Candyland. If only. They leave on a Pluto-drawn carriage, eventually making it to the enchanted snowflake forest. And the song that goes with it is... Waltz of the Flowers? You know, there's an actual Waltz of the Snowflake in the ballet, but I guess it isn't as famous, so what do I know? We're quickly introduced to the Queen of the Snowflakes, played by the same actress who played Ethel, before going into the third song, which is kind of a jazzy number about how the Nutcracker and Minnie are falling in love in winter, I guess.
So it snows in winter, true love grows in winter.
After an extended dance sequence, they leave on the sleigh to continue their journey. The Rat King shows up trying to follow them and asks the Queen where they're going and if she can break the spell, which she can't. She then proceeds to... I'm just gonna let the special speak for itself.
Hello, Acme Exterminating. How may we help?
There are rats in the enchanted snowflake forest.
What kind of rats, madam?
Well, I only see one. He's a big, gray, ugly, and sensitive rat. Whoa!
So, exterminators exist in this universe. Which brings up all sorts of horrifying implications, especially given that our two leads are both rodents. Also, why is it Acme? Isn't that a Looney Tunes thing? We're just gonna go ahead and move on before this gets dark. The narrator tries to continue the story, which the Rat King overhears. Naturally, he's a little peeved that he'll have to go to Candyland since he hates sugar. However, he'll put up with it to ruin everyone's Christmas. You know, you gotta respect that kind of determination. Anyways, Minnie and the Nutcracker make it to Candyland, of which Goofy is the mayor, apparently. Would love to know how that election went down. Once they get inside, a big party happens. And kind of like the ballet, we get a series of songs where everyone dances and sings about what they do in Candyland. Chip and Dale work at the candy factory, and they sing about all the stuff they make. Apparently, Candyland runs on Willy Wonka rules where everything is made out of candy. Even the furniture.
Oh, is that what you want?
Yup!
Because that's how you get ants!
Yay!
The song is set to a country-ish rendition of the Chinese dance. It exists.
Oh, hey,
Roger, who's the town's dentist apparently, comes out to sing a song about brushing your teeth. Because that's what every kid wants in their fun theme park show, a lecture on dental hygiene. I'm not sure I trust him around my teeth either. He'd probably pull one out because he'd think it'd be funny. The song is set to the dance of the reed flutes. It also exists.
Living in the land of candy. How it breaks my heart when any tooth is lost.
Sheriff Tigger, that's another election I'd love to see, gives Minnie a badge for saving the Nutcracker. And then we get a country rendition of the Russian dance. It's the most culturally confused song I've ever heard.
Everybody bounce.
So after 3 songs in a row, we finally get back to the plot. The Rat King's taken over the story, tying up the narrator for good measure, and tears out the last pages of the book. His diabolical plan to ruin Christmas? Stopping the show. Whatever you want, dude. He tries to get Tech to turn on the house lights, but the Nutcracker comes in at the nick of time and whacks him with a bag of sugar. And wouldn't you know it, that's enough to break the spell. He didn't even have to ingest it, he just needed to touch it. You know, if that's all it took, it's a wonder he managed to stay a rat for that long. The prince is, of course, played by the same actor who played Conrad, and, just like him, he's lonely. The Queen of the Snowflakes gives him a piece of candy, which is enough to get the captain of the toy soldiers interested in him. Sheesh, wish I could get someone that easy. They want to end the story, but since the last page is torn out, the narrator has no idea what happens. So the Nutcracker decides to take the initiative.
Minnie, will you be my princess and stay with me here in Candyland?
This is the most wonderful Christmas of all. Yes, of course I'll stay with you, Nutcracker.
Well, I hope you didn't have any friends or family waiting for you back home, Minnie. Because now you got royal duties and you'll never see them again. Hope it will be worth it. So that was Mickey's Nutcracker, and it wasn't bad. It's nothing amazing or groundbreaking. I wouldn't put it in the top tier of Nutcracker adaptations, but it's cute and fun. The adapted songs are catchy for the most part, and there are a couple of funny jokes. I don't think it transcends just being a fun theme park show, but maybe it doesn't need to be. If I was at Disneyland and saw this playing, I'd go watch it. And if you're curious as to what the show is like, you can find many recordings of it right on this website. So, check it out and decide for yourself. And that concludes the video. Now I'll pass the question on to you. What do you make of this? Did you get to see this in person or on TV? What other stories do you want to see given this treatment? Whatever your thoughts, let me know down in the comments. But that's all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.